Welcome back to the show, and this time I'm actually going to show you a craft. You know, I go on the internet a lot and I see a lot of great ideas, and there is one in particular that I really like, and it is actually what they called like a tea bag dispenser. And I've seen this on a lot of people's blogs and different things, and everybody says how cute they are and everything, but no one really showed how to make one. So I finally decided, I think I'll try and figure out my own. The only thing is, I do drink tea, but usually it's iced tea. So I don't really have a use for these tea bags. So I needed something that I could have sitting on my desk so I could constantly eat my Hershey Kisses, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make one of these, and I will have an instruction sheet so you can just sit back and relax. Don't worry too much about the measurements I'm gonna tell you. Basically, you're gonna need 2 pieces of cardstock, and they are for the measurements of the box that I'm gonna make. I made it 6 3/4 this way and 8 1/2 this way. 2 exact pieces like this. So we're gonna use the Martha Stewart scoring board, and what we do is we have to score a couple of places. So what you're gonna do is lay it down on the 8 1/2 way, and we will go to the 3-inch mark and we will score it. And that's all we need to do for that. And then on this way, here we are. I want my box to be really secure, so my seam, which is what is the tabs that are joining the box together, I wanted it to be 3/4 of an inch. So that's why I'm going to go to the 3/4 inch, go all the way down. And then I'm just going to turn it upside down this way. From this edge to here, I want another 3 inches. So basically, I know you can't really see it, but I have 2 sections here that is coming out to like 5 1/2 inches by 3, because my box is a 3-inch square. Now, I'm gonna just fold it really easily and use the bone folder to score it really well. There we go. Crease it really well there. We're gonna have to make a few snips. So, right here, we are going to cut this little tab off. Right here. We don't need this. And right in the middle of these 2 bottom squares. And that's all we need to cut. So you make 2 of these. And it doesn't matter whether you have your tab on either side, it doesn't matter. What you are going to do is with one of them, we have to make our opening in the front. So what we'll do is we'll get our cutting pad, and the opening in the front is going to be one with the tab. So from here, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to, from the inside of the box side, I'm going to measure, and I know how big my candy is. So I want to have it tumble out and just give it 1 inch. So I'm just marking 1 inch from the bottom. And since this is the inside and nobody's going to see, I'm just drawing it so that it's easy for me to see later. And then what I did was I actually folded it so that I knew where my edge is going to be perfectly. And I am just measuring 1/4 of an inch in. And I'm just drawing a nice line here so I can see it. And then on this side, again, fold it flat so I can see this edge. And I'm doing 1/4 inch in here. Okay, the reason why I'm going over the marks over here is I'm going to use a cutting blade. And so I want to be able to see where I have to stop and go. So you use a straight edge, and basically you're just going to cut. And of course, you know, when you use blades like this, you want to make sure that it's nice and sharp so that you don't have any problems, and you can do it pretty easily without too much trouble cutting, and then you'll get a nice smooth cut. Okay. Now I have to cut just along that fold line. And what happens is this part is going to pop out. So that's going to be my opening. So because this is about 5.5 inches, this panel here is just 5 inches. And because this is 3 inches, this is 2.5. So you have like a 1/4 inch border all around. So you need 1, 2, 3 of those. Then this last one, which is going to go in the front, this one I just made it 4 1/4, and it's best to paste all of your panels on first, including this one. And then what we do is we need to make that cutout, because you know, when you want your candy, you don't want to have to fuss, so you want to be able to grab it in there. So we make the little pouch in front, the little puka. So what I did was I took my ruler again, and this opening is about 2.5 inches. So I just went to the 1 1/4 mark, marked it so that I could see basically that's the middle. Then we took our nice 1 inch circle and we put it in there. And that little plastic has a little arrow. So I use that arrow as my pointer, and I mark it up with the line that I drew, and then I get my center mark. So you prepare all of that, and then you can put your box together. And so I just line it up like so. Get it good. Okay, so we get nice and good. And then we're going to do this side, and we have our box. Okay, so now we have to do our bottom. Now I don't want my candy to get all messed up, so I'm putting the back flap down, and then I have tape on the 2 sides, and we want to make sure it's secure. So our other last flap has 4 pieces of tape, nice and secure. Okay, when you make a box and you want to make a cover, you always want to go just a little bit bigger when you're making. So this is 3 inches. So what I did is I went 3 1/16. So basically you're just taking your square, and I wanted to have a 3/4 inch border going around. So you have to do a little math. Math is always good. So you're going to have 2 sides. So you have 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, plus the 3 1/8. So what does that come out to? I mean 3 1/16. Does anybody know? Okay, it comes out to 4 inches, 4 1/2 plus the 1/16. So actually it's like 4 9/16. But just look for the little line after the 1/2 inch mark. That's the easiest way to remember. So you score it, and of course you're going to fold it, and you're just going to snip your corners to make your box top. Now everybody has done probably this even as a kid, especially when you need a box. So everybody kind of knows, you just kind of fold them up, right? And you're going to double stick tape, and you're going to put your box top together. So you end up with the box top like so, and then it'll sit on top. Now, this is not just any old box. It's going to be a candy shop. So what I did was I took my top, and I created, I don't know what you call that, if you call it gables or whatever, under your peak of your house. So I made a little triangle, and I'm putting it right on top like so. You know, our house has to have a roof. So what I like to use is, I like to use the Nestabilities die, because they have a lot of cute ones. This happens to be label number 1, so I made 1 big one and 1 second big one, second largest one. And I just put them together. I scored about 1 inch away from one side, and of course I added a little texture to it. But I have this tape together, so that's the roof of my house. And I already have double stick tape here. Okay, and just like a barn raising, we're doing like a roof raising. And it is just gonna sit right there. Okay, so this is our little roof for our little box. Oh, I guess I can put my candy in after. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little sign. So I like Hello Kitty, so I have Hello Kitty that I did from Sizzix. And then I cut out some ovals, and this is my candy shop. Well, actually I didn't limit it to candy, so any kind of sweets. anything that can fit in here. Now, the last thing is my house. Because I'm going to have candy tumbling out, I want to contain my candy. So I made another little tray, which is about maybe 6 inches long and a little bit bigger than the 3 inches, so my box will fit perfectly inside. Okay, but I made it in green because grass is green and I have a nice green grassy yard. And then we took our Martha Stewart fence punch and we're going to add a little nice, you know, because this is a sweet little house. So we do that and we put it in. And then the favorite best part is putting all the candy in. So see how my candy just comes out? Just waiting for me in my little sweet shop. There. Yeah, I think I like this better than tea. So we're going to take a short break so I can have some of my candy right now. Okay? We'll be right back.